Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Wright Brothers in volume number 12 of Love Letters from the Left. Now, y'all know what this video is all about. We've been doing these videos now for over 3 years, and we read through our hate mail from our loving and tolerant friends on the left-hand side of the aisle, but with a very important reminder. We do this in the spirit of the Greek philosopher Epictetus, who famously said, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him." So as we read through this hate mail, we want you to keep that in mind and sit back, relax, and enjoy Love Letters from the Left, Volume 12.
All right, y'all, let's get right down to it. Love Letters from the Left, Volume 12. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying the making of a national holiday out of Juneteenth is one of the few feathers, true feathers, in President Joe Biden's cap. But as usual, the race hustlers, race baiters, and otherwise divisive individuals still found a way to try to gatekeep it and make it into something that it is not, which is a celebration of freedom and, of course, the emancipation of the last slaves as the news finally reached Texas. When I told people that celebration of Juneteenth shouldn't be limited to a racial basis, I caused quite the firestorm on Twitter a while back. Here was one of the lovely replies I received. This person says, "So you want white people to not only enslave us, but then celebrate the fact that they enslaved us and then freed us, kinda, sorta, afterwards." And I got several of these kind of comments. It was taken completely out of context when I was talking about the celebration, not the actual holiday itself. And anyone who's looked through my timeline knows that we've been celebrating Juneteenth since we were young children, haven't we, Damani? That are basically our entire lives. It's been a thing in Texas for well over three decades. So these kind of comments just show how people can take even a positive, an inherent positive, and turn it into a negative if we allow them. Damani, what you got?
You know, and that is one thing that I'll give the left this. They are very, very, very good at that. Moving on, I have my first piece of hate mail here, and this comes from an individual on Facebook. This individual, unprovoked, I might add, felt the need to weigh in on something I'd posted recently, and this is what they said. "You are the most cowardly, self-hating, self-destructive heads I've ever seen in all my life. And before you even cry about that, I have, on all caps, the right to say exactly how full of you are. Because unlike you, I'm a real, in all caps, American." You know, it's these types of comments that help you understand the left doesn't really have any real arguments to levy your way. When, first of all, they choose to go with the pejoratives, of course, and the expletives. But on top of that, it's kind of funny how they posture themselves as if they're a real American, as if we are not a real American. Last time I checked, I was born in the United States of America. And were you not as well, Trey?
Yes, but we're still figments of someone's imagination, apparently.
Okay. That's what Biden meant when he said, you know, you ain't black. Oh, it all makes sense.
Exactly. Actually, in that vein, speaking of figments of imagination, some people have very active imaginations when they encounter a minority who happens to not share a far left opinion of theirs on Twitter. I actually got two kind of back-to-back comments recently where I was accused of, you know, basically being a stock photo. This one person, Tina York, she says, it's hilarious how idiots claim accounts are bots when they don't agree with them. Too stupid to look back through tweets to see that shows how they believe everything they're told to believe and intelligent enough to actually look into things. And this was in response to her saying, what the hell is wrong with idiot white incels when they use black men's photos to hide behind to troll women, which, you know, I've been known to troll, but never masquerading as a different race. It's pretty remarkable how quickly that accusation gets levied. It even happened in a completely different debate. This one was about gun control, actually, but Moby Dills was not to be deterred from his accusation. He says that talking about me, wouldn't be the first white right-winger to pose as a black man spouting right-wing talking points online. LOL. I think that is
so
actually
now
pretty funny.
Now, did he just accuse you of being in blackface of some sort?
Yes, that's what we're going with now. He continues though, regardless.
Oh, Lord.
My history is correct, my friend. The militias, hence the Second Amendment debate, were used to put down slave revolts. That was early armed America. So because of the militia clause in the Second Amendment, minorities should be against owning weapons and for government gun control. All gun control is racist.
Yeah, of course.
And sexist.
Because, of course. And the thing is, if you argue against that, then you too are a racist and a sexist. So, yeah, the more you know, right? Let's keep it moving. Speaking of completely inane statements, this one comes to us on Facebook of all places. Not Facebook. This comes to us on YouTube. Excuse me. And this individual took great offense to my liberal Christmas list video I made several months ago. And he felt the need to tell me the following. Caught my elderly father watching this video, so I blocked YouTube from his iPad. He can't figure out how to unblock it. LOL, dumb old.
Wow.
Yeah, sounds like just a delightful son to have.
There's a lot to unpack there.
First of all, you claim that you want to help amplify black voices, but then you find black voices you don't like. Not even you. Your father finds this, and then you, to show him how much you care about amplifying black voices, ostensibly remove the ability for him to hear those black voices. It's just another example of that trademarked loving tolerance that we know we can come to expect from our liberal friends. So that's all I have to say on that one, and I'll throw it back over to you.
Stuff like that is so ridiculous. It almost reads like fan fiction in a way. In fact, I've got something that was so fanciful, I kind of just put it in that category automatically. This person was responding to Juneteenth as well. She's trying to figure out who exactly I am as a person. Instead of asking me, she comes up with a handy dandy list. Number 1, foreign blacks, saying that I'm a foreign black male. Number 2, adopted by whites. Okay, not that there'd be anything wrong with that, but no. 3, grew up around all white, the best black friend, the black best friend. Okay, no. 4, a family full of coons. She's trying to say coons and just it was garbled beyond all recognition. 5, never liked his dark skin. Always wanted mixed kids, no matter the white woman and what she looked like. Loves white people, WHYT, not matter what. Which one are you? All. Well, and if anyone can see the response, I answered it was none of the above, but that was quite the imaginative list that we just went down. That I believe this is what's referred to as a primrose path of sorts in literary parlance. But when I see something quite like that, it just makes me wonder what happens in the imaginations of these people when they are not responding to someone they disagree with.
I was going to say that's either a primrose path or that's, like a strikeout on all accounts, because she could not nail down any accurate descriptors. But, speaking of baseball metaphors, what we have next, you'll be pleased to know, is what I like to call the home run. Because this is a comment, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. This individual is one of the ones who feels as if typing everything in all caps adds further credence to their critique of myself. And it reads as follows. This is from a lovely looking gentleman. He says, again, this is in all caps. Damani Felder is a red meat spewer of disinformation that would impress Trump Putin to no end. He states, quote, Joe Biden when Donald Trump America on numerous occasions. And then proceeds to list not one of those occasions, but I digress. Says, Putin's puppet stole highly marketable, extremely sensitive, classified documents to Mar-a-Lago, and some other top secret documents have not been recovered. Yet Damani is about gas prices caused by the worst response to a pandemic in American history during the Trump administration, which subsequently collapsed the American economy in a record-breaking pace. I know kids like Damani, articulate, fast talkers who hate reading detailed information, so they make shit up.
Okay.
To your point about it reading like fan fiction, this is like someone who maybe just saw a bunch of words thrown on the floor and just scrambled a few up together and put them in a bowl and said, oh yeah, this sounds good. This will really show them. And again, it's just the juvenile sophomoric mentality of many leftists who would accuse, me of making things up, when anyone who's been watching this channel knows that my brother and I, we pride ourselves on doing intensive deep dives, and we pride ourselves on due diligence, as we always have. So everything that this individual says is objectively not true, but I almost have to give this person props for spending so much time typing everything up in all caps, if in an attempt to hope that I saw it. I don't even really know why that is, but yeah, another one of those wonderful comments that we've got. And remember, we get plenty of comments. These are just the ones that we take the most joy in reading, and we love sharing them with you. And for more, I'll throw it back over to my brother.
The creme de la creme of our love letters, as it were. You mentioned being juvenile.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe being juvenile is the only way to, I guess, deal with the fact that you have no argument whatsoever. And one gentleman on Twitter not too long ago was so perturbed by my calling him, accurately mind you, an abortionist, given that he supports the practice of, you guessed it, abortion. He decided that he was ready to come to blows in the real world, as opposed to just trading barbs on Twitter. He reads as this, this is his second such offer to engage in pugilism. Here
we go.
Again, anytime, any place, you got this worked up on Twitter. I can't imagine how sloppy you would get in person. Tears running down those cheeks, snot coming out of your nose, probably stutter too. Yeah, sure.
You can't keep a straight face.
I did try. Yeah, he was upset because he said that Catholics were attacking. I'm sorry.
No.
I've tried. Oh. Catholics were attacking him on Twitter for his abortionist stance. And then when I said that he probably deserved the attacks from said Catholics, he construed that as me actively threatening his person, me, a non-Catholic, threatening his person. And then he reacted as if we were to find some place to meet. He also went on that he was going to pull my record and find restraining orders against me, but for some reason that never came to pass. I can't imagine why.
Oh yeah, this because probably when they see someone like you, because you're a leftist, when you see a large black man, then you immediately think all sorts of furtive, fearful thoughts, of course, but because they're not racist at all, right?
Of course, of course not. Perish the thought.
I have one more, and this one is not nearly as involved. This is the gobbledygook that you were forced to suffer through, and I do apologize once again for that. But this comes from would appear a Caucasian female.
Ooh.
This Caucasian female had some very strong opinions about abortion, and it bears mentioning that the left's own logic says that men cannot have opinions on abortion, but then they also, in the same breath, say that men can get pregnant. Do they not?
Yes, I've heard both of those things.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Therefore, I proffered my opinion online, and this was the way that this white Caucasian female chose to respond to me. She says, "No uterus, no opinion." There it is again. That's the constant back and forth they like to play. She says, "My abortion saved my life." She goes on, line number 3. "I hope your daughter gets an abortion." Stands to reason I do not have a daughter yet, but that's another topic. And the final line says, "And I hope you get your niece pregnant."
Huh?
My niece is 2 years old.
Barely.
Barely 2 years old. And that last line really shows the depths of the souls of these individuals. And I don't care who you are, you never wish that on anyone. There's something fundamentally wrong with you as a person for doing that, for even bringing my innocent niece into this conversation. So to you, and we never really do this, but to you, Miss Keely Yutzi, you should be ashamed of yourself. And if you aren't, then we will feel shame in your stead. So that's a very dark comment, a very dark message. We typically don't get comments like those. We actually get comments that are far more affirming to us here on this page, and we have for many years. And for actually more on that, and to shift gears a bit and to reinstall some levity to this video, I want to turn the floor over to my brother to usher us into the spotlight on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not easy to find some of the more nasty comments sometimes, just because there's been so much love poured out, on multiple platforms that we can't thank y'all enough. This one actually came on as a YouTube comment on my recent review of Top Gun Maverick, which was, if you've seen the review, you know exactly how I feel about it. It was a wonderful movie-going experience. I highly encourage you to check it out if you haven't yet. But I got some nice comments back from that. I usually don't read too many of the review comments because they're pretty infrequent. But this one actually made it actually touched me in a lot of ways. This one was from Lala Electra, and she says, "First off, thank you and your family for your service. I was a Navy brat for over 20 years, so I saw firsthand the sacrifice of not only the service member, but the entire family. The first thing I said to my 12-year-old daughter after the movie was good for the Navy. I just left with a huge sense of patriotism. I was rooting for Maverick, the other pilots, the mission, for love, for the country. I went through many emotions watching the movie. My daughter had already seen it with her papa and GMA, I'm assuming grandma, and she was so excited to see it again. For a movie to reach all age groups is truly amazing. Thank you for your movie review. It was great." And yeah, I echo all those sentiments. Thank you for your service in the Navy. It's always kind of a sore spot for us Air Force types. Like the best military Air Force movie is not about the Air Force, it's about the Navy, but it's portrayed so well. The military is portrayed so well. You can't help but feel that pride and patriotism. And I really appreciate you relating your experience and being able to experience that with your daughter. I'm kind of jealous because my kids aren't old enough yet, but I look forward to watching it with them as well. That's why we do stuff like this on this channel, not just the politics, but also just slices of life, because there's so many things to enjoy. And when we find something that's good that we think the tribe would benefit from, we can't wait to share it with y'all. And thank you for sharing the positivity with us. Damani, what do you have in that regard?
100%. It really is all about being able to enjoy that time together with people that mean the most in the world to you. And on that note, we actually have a comment from Facebook that, believe it or not, goes all the way back to last year. This is a comment that we received in December. And I read this comment also to let you know that we do read all of the comments that y'all leave on our YouTube channel, on our videos, on our Facebook page. They all go a long way, but this one here really touched me particularly. I'm going to read it out. This one comes from James Dayton Sisson, and he says, "Merry Christmas, Damani, Trey, and all of you that follow these two shining lights in such a demonic world. It's amazing how evil people can see good and somehow try to make it evil. Just so you know of what little things you do on the ripple effect of your common sense and goodwill towards all, I give you my piece of the pie. My brother and I do not get along anywhere near as well as you two seemingly do. I shared one of your videos on the ignorance of the jab with him when you first did it. He now follows you as well. Imagine that. We actually found something, someone, you guys, that we can agree on. That is a miracle in itself." And I can't tell you again just how much those comments mean to my brother and I. Obviously, we share a very strong bond. We know that there's those individuals out there who do not have those similar strong bonds with their family members, and we thank you for even thinking to share us with them as well. And we're so happy that you were able to find something to agree on, and that it was us. We've been doing this for many, many years now. We are well into our 4th year of content creation here on YouTube. And it just means so much to us to have individuals like yourselves out there who've chosen to support us, who've chosen to share our content, who have chosen to get behind our work, amplify our message, even donate financially to us through our Patreon and so on and so forth. Every little bit helps us continue to hopefully be that positive catalyst that for change that many individuals need to have out there. So to James, to all of you out there who are watching, to all of you who've ever shared a video or left a comment, know that we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. We will continue making the content that you have come to expect from us. But that wraps it up for this volume of Love Letters from the Left, Volume 12. Let us know in the comments down below. Have you gotten hateful comments from leftists yourselves? I know the answer to that question already. If you have, please feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. We love reading through those comments and engaging with you, and also encouraging those of you out there who need to hear an encouraging word, because y'all giving that to us, and it's the least we can do to give it back to y'all. Thank y'all so much for all of your support, for all of your comments, for all of your encouragement, and know there will be more content coming soon. We cannot wait to bring it to you, but until then, God bless you all. I'm Damani Felder, that's Trey, and we'll catch you in the next one.
The first revolution is when you change your mind about how you look at things and see that there might be another way to look at it that you have not been shown. The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.